So welcome to all of you for my second lecture class. So last class I have discussed about the basic concept of light used in photochemical and photophysical process. I have also discussed about what is the difference between photochemical process with that of the photophysical process, how the light can be used in different connection of living system as well as non-living system. That means what is the effect of light or interaction of light energy with matter. So here in this lecture class I have also discussed about when the corresponding light falls on matter, then what happens, how the corresponding property can be changed. This can be changed by the reflection, transmission, absorption, so on. So the photochemistry is related only with the absorption of light by matter. Okay, so I can also say that the photochemistry is branch of chemistry which deals with the rate and mechanism of reaction taking place due to exposure of light by UV and visible spectra, and all of you know the corresponding wavelength of UV and visible region are 200 to 400 and 400 to 800 nanometer respectively. So the reaction which can be brought about by light radiations are called the photochemical reaction. This is the definition. Okay, so the term includes radio waves, X-ray, gamma rays, and also beams of particles like alpha particles, neutrons, electrons, and protons. So the important phenomenon of the photochemistry is the study of photochemistry helps to know the changes when a molecule absorbs radiation. More precisely, when the corresponding molecule can absorb the photon energy in presence of different electromagnetic radiation of light, then how the corresponding molecular properties can changes. So in your syllabus, the entire photochemistry process is taken in presence of UV and visible light. So what happens, I have already told you in my last lecture class, whatever the corresponding property can be changes, either it can goes two phenomena. One is your absorption phenomenon and another one is your emission phenomenon. So basically what happens here, absorption of light when a monochromatic or heterogeneous light is incident upon homogeneous medium, a part of it is absorbed, a part of it is reflected, and some part it is transmitted. So I can write the total intensity of incident radiation, that I naught is equal to the intensity of the absorbed light, that means IA, intensity of the reflected light, that means IR, plus intensity of the transmitted light, that means IT. So mathematically I can write I naught is equal to IA plus IR plus IT, where the corresponding superscript may usual notification. So for comparison, cell IR is very small, hence I can also write I naught becomes equal to IA plus I of R. So what happens in photochemistry, in general we concern with the absorbed light. So what is the corresponding idea of photophysical process and photochemical process? So here you can see that in the photophysical process, photophysical means in presence of light, whatever the molecular property, or more precisely whatever the physical property of the molecule changes. So the substance absorb light it can emit without undergoing any chemical change is termed as photophysical process. So I'll discuss whenever I go to Jablonski diagram. So in the fluorescence process, fluorescence, phosphorescence, photoelectric effects, these are the examples of photophysical process. Alternatively, the corresponding photochemical process can be defined as the absorption of light brings about some chemical changes in substance. For example, I just give the simple example, hydrogen and chlorine. These two gases, when it can react explosively in presence of sunlight, it will produce hydrogen chloride gas. So this is one of the example of photochemical changes. So I will discuss different kind of example, different kind of elaborately concept in later on. Okay, so this is the basic fundamental thing where you can differentiate the photophysical process and the corresponding photochemical process. So in general, the question comes that what is the corresponding difference between the thermal reaction with that of photochemical reaction? Okay, so what is the basic difference? Thermal reaction means in presence of heat, how the corresponding reaction can be monitored, because whenever you can synthesize any kind of reaction, so temperature is much more important here. So when the temperature is much more important, so this kind of reaction is called thermal reaction. Okay, but in presence of light, when the corresponding reaction takes place, this kind of reaction we called it as the photochemical reaction. So the difference between thermal reaction and photochemical reactions are, first is, in thermal reaction, activation energy is derived due to collisions of reactant molecules, whereas in photochemical reactions, activation energy is derived due to absorption of light by which they are irradiated. The second point is, in thermal reaction, number of activated molecule depends on temperature of your reaction. Okay, but in photochemical reaction, number of activated molecules depend on intensity of light. Okay, in the thermal reaction, the activated molecules that depends only the temperature, but whereas this is the most important thing, photochemical reaction, the corresponding activated molecules are dependent on the intensity of light. The third point is, the thermal reaction takes place by absorption or evaluation of heat, whereas the photochemical reactions involve only the absorption of light. Next point is, thermal reaction can be carried out in dark condition also, whereas whenever you have done any kind of photochemical reaction, always the light source is mandatory. Alternatively, intensity of light is required. So that's why we can say photochemical reactions require presence of light. The next point is, whenever in presence of thermal reaction carried out, the free energy change, that means the delta G value, always negative in thermal reaction, because whenever the free energy change is negative, the reaction becomes spontaneous one according to the law of thermodynamics. Whereas the most important thing is that in case of photochemical reaction, the free energy change, that means delta G, is negative in most of the cases, but it may positive in some cases. Okay, we'll discuss one by one in which case the corresponding delta G value becomes negative in photochemical process, in which case the corresponding delta G value becomes positive case in some exceptional condition. And the third thing is that the rate of the thermal reaction can depend on temperature and independent on intensity of light absorbed, whereas In case of photochemical reaction, rate depends only on the intensity of light absorbed. Okay, the example of thermal reaction is when the nitrogen gas reacts with hydrogen, it will produce ammonia. When the hydrogen reacts with iodine, it will produce hydroiodic acid. When PCl5 is decomposed and it will produce the potassium trichloride and chlorine gas. So whatever I discuss here, these are the example of thermal reaction, whereas these are the corresponding example of photochemical reaction where hydrobromic acid can be dissociated in presence of hydrogen and bromine. Alternatively, hydrogen and bromine can combine and it will produce the hydrobromic acid. We will discuss one by one. Okay, what are different classification of the photochemistry reaction? Second thing is that addition of hydrogen and chlorine, it may produce the corresponding hydrochloric acid. In present, ozone basically decomposed and it will produce the corresponding oxygen. So these of the reaction are the example of photochemical reactions. So later on, I just give you some brief introduction. I hope all of you have some knowledge in your advanced molecular spectroscopy class. So because the spectroscopy is the fundamental thing when we solve some advanced kind of course here. So that is why the primary knowledge is much more important here. Okay, so basically what happens, all of you know spectra means light. So spectroscopy is the branch of science that deals with the study of interaction of matter with light, or spectroscopy is the branch of science that deals with the study of interaction of electromagnetic radiation with matter. So because the spectroscopy phenomena is used to know the molecular structure, that means to evaluate the qualitative analysis. Second thing is to determine the quantity of species, that means the quantitative analysis. Okay, for example, when benzene is transformed to nitrobenzene, so from the reactant to product, some kind of reaction takes place, nitro group is attached. So in spectroscopy study, we can evaluate both the qualitative as well as quantitative approach. That is why different kind of interactions are involved in spectroscopy. These are absorption, emission, reflection, transmission, scattering, refraction, and so on. So in general, this is the most important thing. What is the basic difference between spectroscopy and spectrometry? So spectroscopy is the science of studying the interaction between matter and radiated energy, whereas spectrometry is the method used to acquire a quantitative measurement of the spectrum. Spectroscopy is theoretical approach. It does not generate any kind of result. It is the theoretical approach, whereas spectrometry is the practical application where the results are generated. So different kind of spectrometry are used. For example, is mass spectrometry. In the mass spectrometry, you can evaluate, you can get the parameter of m by z ratio, where m is the mass of electron, z is the corresponding charge. Okay, so in the UV visible spectroscopy, you can obtain the corresponding either absorbance or lambda max value. In the FTIR spectroscopy, you can obtain the corresponding peak position of the respective wavelength region. Okay, so because all of you know spectroscopy basically deals with the interaction of light with matter. That light comes from the electromagnetic radiation. So electromagnetic radiation consists of discrete package of energy which are called as photon energy. That means H into nu, where H is your Planck constant value. The value of Planck constant in SI unit 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. or in CGS unit, the corresponding value of Planck constant is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 27 arc second, whereas nu is the frequency of light. It can be determined by c by lambda, where c is the speed of light, lambda is the wavelength, equal to E by h, or alternatively we can written as E equal to AC divided by lambda. So in the electromagnetic radiation, what would be the definition of frequency? Frequency is basically defined as the number of times electrical field radiation oscillates in 1 second, or the number of waves that pass a fixed point in unit time. So the unit of frequency is hertz. 1 hertz is equal to 1 cycle per second. Okay. What is the definition of wavelength? The definition of wavelength is, it is the distance between two nearest parts of the wave in the same phase, that is distance between two nearest crest or troughs. A photon consists of oscillating electric field and oscillating magnetic field, which are perpendicular to each other. So here in this diagram you can see the electric field wave and magnetic field wave, they becomes perpendicular to one another, and when light is coming, then what happens? The light is comes through electric wave and magnetic wave, and they basically interacted with the corresponding matter. Okay, so this is the basic fundamental things of the spectroscopy. So all of you know, in the electromagnetic radiation there are different kind of radiation. For example, gamma ray, X-ray, UV visible, infrared, microwave and radio wave. So when we are going from radio wave to your gamma ray, the energy value basically enhances. So when the energy value enhances, obviously E becomes equal to, energy is equal to H into nu. So obviously the frequency is enhances. So in the gamma ray region, the corresponding frequency, the light that is used, the frequency is enhanced. Whereas, so when the frequency is enhanced, all of you know the frequency is reciprocal to wavelength. So that means the corresponding, when the frequency is enhanced, the corresponding wavelength value is basically decreases. Okay, so going from radio wave to gamma ray, in this way energy value increases, that means frequency increases, wavelength decreases. Okay, so in radio wave the wavelength value becomes maximum one, whereas in the gamma ray region the wavelength becomes the smaller one. Okay, so in this photochemistry course we are basically interested about the ultraviolet visible region course. So all of you know that in the UV visible region, when the corresponding white light basically comes into the prism, it basically refracted in different kind of visible region. So starting from violet to indigo to blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So these are the corresponding plot. In case of red region, the wavelength value becomes maximum one, whereas in case of violet region, the wavelength value becomes the smaller one. Okay. So whenever we basically study the corresponding spectroscopy, two kinds of, I have already told you, two kinds of phenomenon is very important. One is your absorption spectra. Absorption, when the corresponding molecule basically accepts some photon energy, suitable photon energy, then molecule from your ground state, it goes to your excited state. So this kind of phenomenon is called absorption spectra. So absorption spectra gives you the knowledge about the ground state property of your molecule. Okay, whereas in the emission spectra, from the excited state, it basically returns to ground state. So when this kind of phenomenon occurs during this process, the light energy is basically emitted. So when this kind of light energy is emitted, So this kind of process is called the emission property. So alternatively, we can say that emission is gives you some idea about the excited state property of your molecule. So in summary, I can say the absorption spectra gives you the corresponding ground state property, whereas in the emission spectra it gives you the excited state property of your molecule. Thank you.